Welcome back into HQ, presented by Zevo here. Week 2 college football jumping into ranked SEC and ACC games we get this week. When it comes to the rankings, Arkansas, by the way, jumping up 3 spots after their win against Cincinnati. Tennessee jumping into the top 25, and they are the road favorite at Pitt after their blowout game against Ball State. And by the way, when it comes to Wake Forest, we do get to see Sam Hartman play. We did not think he was going to be able to play for the first month because of a blood clot issue, but he has now been cleared. Let's welcome back in Brady, Quinn, and Danny Kanell here to go through these games. All right, let's start App State at A&M. A&M had the shutout win against Sam Houston, but a lot of people still not impressed with what they saw from the Aggies there. App State, though, Chase Bryce launching some touchdowns in that game, though. Aggies favored by 17, the total 53 and a hook.
I actually like App State in this one. I thought they showed so much fight playing at home against North Carolina. It was one of the more wild finishes of the year. They missed two-point conversions late in the game. Chase Bryce played a phenomenal game, 6 touchdowns he had in that one. And Sean Clark, his coach, got up in front of the media and just basically put his arm around him and said, hey, you will not see a tougher competitor. And they're going to need that tough competitor to play Texas A&M and cover the spread. But I think they do. The Aggies, I think, are a little bit of a quarterback quagmire. Haynes King was named the starter. He was sloppy. He was not great. 2 interceptions, underthrow on 1. It was a little bit off just for whatever reason. Aniyah Smith was the lone bright spot for that offense, kind of around 168 yards receiving and a couple of touchdowns. But I still think they're trying to figure out their way. They'll be able to score, but I also think App State will score enough points to keep this one within 2 touchdowns. I think they lose by 2 touchdowns, but I think they cover the 17-point spread. So give me App State, one of the tougher schedules in the country too. North Carolina week 1, now having to travel to SEC country and take on Texas A&M. But I'll go ahead and take Appalachian State.
You know, Danny, I had some reservations about being on the other side of this bet, in part because of who Texas A&M plays next week. Remember, you get that big matchup versus the Miami Hurricanes, so kind of felt like a trap game, right? Like, could you be overlooking potentially App State looking ahead to the Miami Hurricanes? Here's the hard part, though. Appalachian State has traditionally relied on their defense. Defensively, they've been one of the better in really college football overall. That wasn't the case, at least not versus North Carolina last week, where Drake May absolutely lit them up. And mind you, side comment, Drake May, somebody needs to put this young man up for the Heisman so far. He's been phenomenal this year. I don't know that anyone expected him to put up these type of numbers this early, regardless of who they're playing against. But back to this game. Look, I have the same reservations you do about the Texas A&M offense, although that's kind of been the reservations we've always had about the Texas A&M offense is Haynes King, the quarterback position. Can they do anything other than run the football? They really didn't even run the football that well last week versus Sam Houston State. And you kind of point out the Aniyah Smith in the passing game. Here's the reality. I think Vegas is begging you to do what Danny's doing and taking App State here. I think Texas A&M gets up for this game. I think they control App State. I think App State is going to have a hard time rebounding from what was an absolutely thriller of a game, but also in the end, a dramatic loss. So I'm going to lay the 17 points here with A&M, and I think they're going to be able to cover this, and I think they're going to continue to keep building on the Jimbo Fisher, these highly touted recruiting classes, and only continue to get better as the year goes on.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.